everyone and welcome back. So today we've got a sit down chatty video and I wanted to go through 5 things that I think you should avoid doing in the gym. Now, when I say in the gym, I don't necessarily mean just in the gym. I just mean wherever you do your workouts. I know a lot of people in fact are working out from home at the moment, especially in the UK because we are still in a lockdown. But these are kind of 5 things that I've put together which I really wish that I'd known at the start of my fitness journey, and I hope that you guys find them really useful as well. I just wanted to say as well that this video kind of, I think, goes a little bit hand in hand with one of my last videos, which was when I went through my whole fitness journey with you guys, literally from start to finish. And it was crazy just looking back on that time. So if you do want to know a little bit more about what I'm talking about, if I mention sort of me at the start of my fitness journey, definitely go and watch that video because I think it should really help. So let's get straight into it with the first point I came up with, which is not understanding which muscles and exercise works. Now, this might not sound like a really important one, but honestly, it completely transformed fitness for me. I know that sounds really dramatic, but I think it is just a really, really important step and a lot of people don't understand it. I think especially with females in the fitness industry, if you started out at the gym, a lot of people start out doing workout classes, and quite often just because they are very fast paced and you are relying on someone else to kind of give you the information, you don't properly understand what every exercise does. So another example of where this can be a little bit of an issue is if you don't understand what muscles or muscle groups the exercise works, it's really, really hard to focus on activating that muscle, especially if it's a muscle that needs activating. So for me, my glutes are a muscle that I have to really make sure I switch on with lots of glute activation at the start of a workout. But if I'm doing a hip thrust and not focusing on my glutes and putting my focus, I don't know, even elsewhere, I don't feel it as much in my glutes. This also can mean it stunts your progress. It means you can't increase your weight as quickly. It can also just mean bad form and then you get injured, and that's not great either. If you are wanting to grow or strengthen a muscle, it's just really, really important to understand which exercise is working that muscle. And it might sound like a really simple thing, but there are more complex exercises. I always like to refer back to an RDL, a Romanian deadlift, as one of these exercises. I did that exercise for probably like near enough a year without really understanding the muscle groups that it worked. And the minute I figured out it was really meant to focus on my hamstrings and a bit on my glutes as well, I found it much easier to get my form correct with that exercise and to make sure that I was really pushing my hips backwards rather than just focusing on lowering the weight down. If you do RDLs in the gym, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about, but it's really difficult when you're copying someone else's form. And like I said, if you go back and watch my fitness journey video, you'll know that at the start of my fitness journey, I was just basically going to the gym with Elliot and copying everything that he did without really questioning it. So yeah, knowing what muscles and exercise is using is really important for so many things like injury, correct form, being able to strengthen, being able to grow, and just generally, I don't know, just you want to get it right. So how do you find out about this? Honestly, Google. I mean, I still Google stuff pretty much every single time I'm in the gym just because I'm really curious and inquisitive, and I just think Google can be such a good place. Obviously, make sure you find a reputable source. But if you are following, say, one of my accomplished programs and you come across an exercise and you're not really too sure if you're feeling it in the right place, then literally just type into Google, where does a lat pull down work? And it should come up with a muscle group, and then you can really focus on that during your workout. One thing that actually really helps me, because I'm quite a visual person, is thinking of the muscle that you should feel the exercise working as highlighted in red. If you picture it in your head, say it's glutes, for example, picturing your glutes highlighted in red every time you squeeze at the top of a hip thrust, it really, really helps me to focus on that muscle group and get that mind-muscle connection. Point number 2 is go to the gym with a plan or follow a program. I think this is so key, and I think it's something that's really overlooked because it seems like the sort of thing that wouldn't make a difference, if I'm honest. And I spent a lot of time doing exactly that. I'd just go to the gym, I'd kind of freestyle it. At the time, I had quite a good knowledge of what exercises I should be doing and which workouts, and it would honestly just mean that I wouldn't get as much out of my sessions. I'd find that I'd get sort of 5 or 6 exercises in that I hadn't even really done as very focused exercises. They were all a bit randomly put together, and then I'd kind of leave the gym, and I could have just had a much better workout if I'd planned it out. I think it's really good to get into the gym, have everything written out for you. Just think of it as getting from A to B and just keep a really, really structured workout plan. I do think that having a plan can also ensure that you have more effective workouts. You can make sure that you've got enough exercises to work X muscle and Y muscle programmed into your workout, whether that's you creating a plan for yourself yourself in your notes on your phone, or whether that's following a program. I think either way, it's really good to make sure you have got a plan when you walk into the gym or do a home workout. So number 3, this one kind of has like 2 sections, and I've just realized I probably should have put it a bit closer to number 1, but it's not warming up or activating your muscle group. One of the big things that you will initially think about is injury. Not warming up can really, really easily cause injury, and the minute you get an injury from not warming up, you'll know exactly what I mean, because it's so easily done. I feel like people especially try and skip warm-ups with things like upper body days because they aren't completely sure what to do as a warm-up for those kind of workouts. I've been that person actually 2 or 3 times that has gone into the gym before, tried to do a dumbbell shoulder press, and immediately felt it in one of my shoulders. You honestly only need about 5 minutes to do a good warm-up, but it's really, really good for preventing injury. And coming from someone who has spent the last year with an injury, to be fair, the injury wasn't because I hadn't warmed up. I know how difficult it can be, and honestly, it takes you 5 minutes, but it could save you months of just pain or frustration. The other part of this is not activating the area. So I'm gonna refer back to glutes again. Personally, I find that this is a muscle group that I have to really, really activate before I do a workout, but activation can really, really help to improve your workout. To me, activating a muscle group just kind of means like switching it on, making sure it's like alive, revved up, ready to go. And it's such a great way to tell that muscle that you are about to work it needs to be fired up and ready to go. For lower body activation, I always really love using a resistance band, and just generally for activation, I would always suggest using like a lighter weight or some kind of like lighter resistance than what you're going to train it with. But honestly, it just really, really helps to improve your workouts. You can get a lot more out of it. And if you are focused on muscle growth, it's really, really important. So next one is thinking that working a specific muscle will help you to lose fat in that area. Unfortunately, I feel like this is one that has basically come about because of people spreading it on social media, and I still to this day will come across workouts that say
lose your bingo wings or like lose fat on your love handle,
and you cannot spot reduce fat. You cannot tell your body where you want it to lose fat from. It will lose fat from where it wants, and genetics play a really big role in this. Well, my camera battery just died there and I feel like I lost my flow a bit. So let's hope that we're kind of in the same position as we were before and it's not too noticeable. So one of the most commonly asked questions that I get in my DMs is how to lose stomach fat. It seems to be something that everyone is really, really focused on. And unfortunately, my answer is always that you cannot choose where you lose fat from. Yes, you can build up muscle in that area, which may change the appearance of it a little bit, but overall to lose fat, you need to be in a calorie deficit. So long story short, to lose fat, you need to be burning more calories than you are consuming. And that is literally how fat loss works. There's no magic exercise that's gonna help you lose stomach fat or lose your bingo wings or help you reduce the size of your thighs. And as much as I know it's not what a lot of people want to say, a lot of it is also down to genetics. But yeah, if you do see those types of workouts, do not be fooled. You can work out specific muscle groups to help increase muscle in that area, but working that specific muscle will not help you lose fat from that area necessarily. So number 5 is the biggest one for me, and that is making sure that you are pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. To me, it's a mistake that I made and it really, really halted my progress. I think I've actually spoken about this in a past video, but not knowing how it actually feels to really, really push yourself out of your comfort zone is such a big factor. It really, really is. I used to spend so much time in my comfort zone. I'd get through 10 reps really easily, knowing that I could probably have done 12 reps of an exercise, and I always wondered why I wasn't making any progress. I wasn't seeing my muscles increase in size, I wasn't really feeling any stronger, and every single week I was basically lifting the exact same thing and classifying it as a good workout. I find that a really good way to know whether a weight is good for you, and kind of like a little rule, I guess, that I always tell my online coaching clients and the girls that follow any of my accomplished guides is making sure that the last rep of each set is almost impossible. So you can complete it, but it's a massive, massive struggle. And maybe that last rep of the last set, you actually can't complete. That's when you know you are really pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, and that is the only way you're gonna get stronger and grow your muscles. Also, doing it that way, you are going to expend more energy. So if your goal is fat loss, then that is also the way to do it. Another thing that I find can work really well, and this is a feature that I really encourage the people who follow any of my accomplished guides using on the app, is making sure you're tracking the weight that you're using. It's really easy when you completed a lot of exercises to just completely forget what weight you have used, and if you've tracked the weight, you can know to either start out that weight again the next time and try and just get out a few more reps, or to just increase your weight, but also just to make sure that you are really, really pushing yourself. If you're working out at home and you are limited to using specific dumbbells, I personally only have a set of 3 kilograms or a set of 6 kilograms at home, then just adding on a few extra reps so you're really challenging your muscles that way, I think is a great alternative. So guys, those are 5 things that I really think you should avoid doing that I wish someone had been able to tell me not to do at the start of my fitness journey. I honestly think that if you manage to follow those, I do think that it will really help you to get faster results. Thanks so much for watching. I really hope that was helpful for you. If you do want more details on my Openshaw guides, just because I know I've referenced them a few times during this video, I will make sure everything is linked in the description box down below, but please make sure to give the video a like and leave a comment if you do fancy it, and subscribe if you want to stick around, and I'll see you in my next one.